Let's head in. We return to the old man. Majel walks up to the cell and grasps the iron bars. He positions his feet and starts to pull away at the bars with an incredible intensity. After a moment, the bars start to bend like taffy. Majel enters first through the newly created opening. Kid follows, kneeling down before the mumbling old man. Putting her hands on the old man's shoulders, Kid tries to look into his eyes, but he continues to stare at the floor. Frustrated, she starts to shout at him, shaking him vigorously. "Come on, old fella, get up!" The old man's head shakes back and forth like a rag doll's, but his eyes remain averted. All right, here we do want to try to stop Kid. Well, it doesn't really matter. I come between Kid and the old man. Kid looks at me with straightforward eyes. "Don't get in the way, Serge!" "Kid, look at him," I say, without the end quotation. "Being agitated is the last thing he needs right now. After I'm done with him, this old geezer's gonna be brimming with old stories." As Kid shifts her weight onto her other knee, suddenly the Acacian ring falls out of her pocket. It falls down to the ground, bouncing once, twice, 3 times, thrice even, and comes to a stop right before the old man's eyes. Trying to get Kid to calm down, I signal for her to look over to the man, who's now smiling faintly. "The ring," he says in a voice so quiet it's barely audible. However, his eyes quickly return to their murky state. "Finally, my allies, you have returned. Because of me, the frozen flame was seized, and I have desecrated the name of the Acacia Dragoons. I am the only one left, but you have returned. Ah, Merkit, Zorander. Now that we are once again reunited, let us all head back to Stike Lake." "Geez, listen, mister, the frozen flame, where is it? Any small hint will help, come on." "Frozen flame?" the old man asks. A warm smile streaks across his face. "Ah, my dear Miss Riddell, I have not seen you in quite some time. Surely you have not forgotten the secret entranceway?" Yeah. You think you could tell me about that again, Gramps?" Kid asks, trying to sound as ladylike as possible. "In the ballroom, 3rd candlestick on the left." Kid hugs the old man, ecstatic, and so he resumes his mumbling in that distant, shuddering voice. "Please forgive me for your father. I beg you, Riddell. The Dragoons." "It's high time for you to bust on out of here, old man," Kid says, pointing to the bent iron bars. However, he once again refuses to look up. "Come on. We've done all we can do here. He's got to walk through these bars himself." "Thanks, old-timer." And we just leave him. Heading away from the catacombs, we eventually come to a split. Turning right heads back to the atrium, while proceeding straight through will take us to a downward staircase. Here, we do want to head right. After heading down the dark, dingy passageway for a while, eventually I start to smell the pungent odor of dead fish. Those damn piranha. Back in the atrium. Eventually, we return to the atrium. Ahead of us, we see another archway, which will take us back to the upward staircase, and eventually Lynx and Riddell's quarters. Let's head through the room. Now, I do believe I can actually do something here. We come to a branch after a ways. To our right lies a staircase going up, while the start of a dark passageway is directly ahead. We want to... actually head down the passageway this time, yeah. I'm going to do something you don't need to do. We proceed through the dark passageway. Before long, we're greeted with a beautifully ornate set of doors on the right. These are the quarters of Riddell, Lynx's adopted daughter. Let's enter this room. I don't think we need to, but we're going to do it anyway. Riddell has been very nice to us after all. We've seen this. They don't change this at all, so we'll skip the description of Riddell's room here. There we go. Riddell sits over on the sofa, lost in thought. She seems to be staring at something on an armrest nearby. Coming over towards her, I see it's a faded photograph. She looks up, kindly beckoning us to come over. Is there something the matter? No. I just thought we'd come see if there's anything new here.
Hey, are you crazy? The frozen flame's out there, waiting to be found. Come on, mate.
Riddell gives me an assuring glance as I reluctantly follow Kid out. Be careful, Riddell says in a sweet voice. At the door, Kid comes to a stop. Without turning around, Kid asks Riddell,
Hey, darling, do you think you could lend us a hand and tap into that special power of yours that you were talking about before?
Riddell remains silent.
Well, why is that old man locked up down there?
Looking downward still, Riddell says nothing.
Keep silent if you want, but remember, we're not your tools of vengeance. We act out of our own will. Don't underestimate us, Kid says.
I know. Riddell answers in a whisper. As we leave, I can't help but feel sorry for Riddell. Looking at her through the doorway, she sits motionless, staring at the floor. Yeah, we don't have to do that, but figured we might as well. From here, the passageway stretches to the right and left. Heading to the right will take us to Lynx's quarters, while turning left will take us back to the ascending staircase. We're actually going to head to Lynx's quarters, entirely optional as well. After a little while, the dark passageway ends at a polished, robust set of doors. Lynx's quarters. Oh man, I can feel Kid's blood boiling from here. Let's head in. Lynx! What? Lynx is here? I rush into the room behind Kid, unsheathing my knife in a flash of adrenaline. Where is he? Beside me, Kid says, Gotcha! Damn it. Why? Were you scared? She asks, giggling. No, sheesh. Don't do that to me. Has Lord Lynx returned to the room? A high alto voice asks. Kid and I glance at each other, giggling. No, he isn't here right now. Ah, Master Surge, is there something I can answer for you? The statue asks in a pleasant voice. Or perhaps you'd be interested in this lovely gift I have for you. A gift? Huh? A gift? Only a modest token of my appreciation for you and your comrades. I present you with a personal invitation into the realm of the Looking Glass, if you are interested. Wow, really? Yes, but we must hurry. Time is of the essence. I look towards the dark, rippling surface of the mirror. Slowly, I reach my hand out towards it. It feels like my hand is being submerged in water, passing straight into the mirror. Suddenly, there's a slight pull. I try to retract my arm, but the harder I pull, the further I seem to be getting drawn in. Master Surge. Oh, no, it's her again. Master Surge, take your hand out quickly. Just then, a crack streaks across the mirror. What's going on? Amidst my struggling, I see a crack start to streak down the mirror's glass. Save yourself, Master Surge, please, before I am forced to consume you. What? Kid starts pulling with me despite the increasing force drawing me in. I'm now up to my shoulder in this thing. On the count of 3, I yell. 1, 2, 3. We tumble backwards, falling onto the couch. I look at my arm in a daze. It's fine. Shaking myself off, I return to the mirror, now even more cracked since I last saw it. Lynx planned to seal you all in the mirror, the statue says, sobbing. Each time it speaks, another crack seems to be running into it. This isn't all. I had alerted Lord Lynx of your presence long before you had known of me. Why? Lynx has already taken away everything I have. He refused to allow me to leave Viper Manor, coercing me to be the mansion's eyes and ears, promising he would someday set me free. Hanging her head low, the Venus statue speaks in a quiet, solemn voice. However, it was simply another one of Lord Lynx's schemes. No freedom is worth stealing another's for. I would rather destroy myself than become another murderer. As yet another crack appears, a large piece of mirror breaks off, falling to the ground. No, don't! I yell, grasping the mirror. A huge crack streaks across the entire mirror, preventing me from seeing almost any of the statue. The statue's lips can be seen moving faintly from beyond the now heavily cracked mirror, but no words can be heard. I silently bend down and gather up all the shards. Putting them on the desk, I look into the kaleidoscope of reflections.
Serge?
From behind me, I hear Kid's voice.
Let's go, mate.
As I leave the room, I quietly look over my shoulder, looking at the smashed mirror. I stop for a second, hoping to hear a voice, but all I hear is silence. Heading back, we travel through the passageway, eager to shake this feeling of dread. After walking a ways, we come to a beautifully decorated set of doors on the left. This is Riddell's room. Let's keep on walking. Continuing on through the passage, eventually we come to a branch. We see an upward staircase on the left as well as a stone archway directly ahead. So, if you don't want to do that optional piece, you can just take the stairs here. I follow Kid up the narrow set of stairs, hoping not to lose my balance. We've ascended the staircase. In front of us, paths extend in 3 directions. To the left lies a dark corridor, and the right path leads out to the terrace. This path also continues on ahead. So we will turn left here. Honestly thought it was ahead, but it's left. We continue through the passageway. After a while, we arrive at a beautifully decorated set of double doors. This is the ballroom. We'll enter here. We do have knowledge of a secret passage. A countless number of candles spectacularly illuminate this huge room. An old-fashioned grandfather clock stands on the right, ticking away with a morbid stillness. I step into the center of the hall, looking upwards at the oil canvases shimmering in the low light.
Okay, third one on the left,
Kid says quietly. 1,
2, 3. Here we go.
As Kid slowly pushes against the candlestick, it starts to move slowly.
What's going on? I stammered, trying to brace myself.
This entire room is slowly sinking into the ground, Major says.
The ballroom is sinking? All of it?
Suddenly, the room starts to fall much faster. Chills run down my spine as I look around, seeing the paintings smacking against the walls and the candles dropping to the floor. As I start to get used to the sinking sensation, my heart fills with a violent mixture of anxiety, expectation, and hope that awaits us at the bottom. The frozen flame. Could it really be down here? Is this our adventure's end? What if we actually take it into our hands? Kid, Major. I wonder what they're feeling right now. As the room continues to sink underground like an elevator to hell, I start to hear Kid speak in a soft, meek voice.
Sometimes, I do struggle to win, even when I know I've already lost. Just like that lady said. Why do I do that?
Looking over at her, I realize this isn't the Kid I usually see. There, a faint, shy smile can be seen across her face. Suddenly, I feel something so powerful go through me. It feels like a wave of fire surging through my heart. This time, I don't think it matters what we say. Why bring us here, Kid? Is it fate? Don't worry, we can't lose. There's no doubt. Now, why bring us here, Kid?
Fate? Life? I don't even know anymore. But with Lynx, nothing's set in stone. But sometimes it feels like there's something inside me, guiding me. No matter what I do, it won't matter because I know it'll be showing me what to do next. What am I saying? Crazy talk,
Kid says, smiling faintly. I don't know what to feel hearing this. Kid's always put on a strong face no matter what, seemingly embracing terror when it comes. But right now, I can't help but feel the weight of the situation bearing down on us. If you take these matters with a grain of salt like Kid seems to, it's easy to live a day-to-day life like she does. As I look in her face, that strange expression of hers relieves me.
I'm sorry. All this talk, it ain't me, Kid says, scrunching her nose. Instantly returning to her serious gaze, she says, "But thanks, Sir Majel. Thanks for coming here. Because of this, maybe down the road I'll have another chance."
Huh?
"Nothing. Forget it," Kid says as she closes her eyes, smiling. As usual, she sends me into deep thought.
While only barely visible, Majel stands silently amidst the shadows, effortlessly balanced with closed eyes. As I look around at my companions, I wonder what awaits us. We share a calm silence in our hearts as we continue to descend far below ground. Suddenly, a metallic grinding sound can be heard from all around us. The room comes to a stop, swaying a bit.
"Guess this is our stop," Kid says with a hollow laugh.
I stand motionless, staring at Kid and Majel in the dim, flickering luminescence.
Suddenly, the organ comes to life. Looking back towards the monstrous thing, no one is even near it. Nevertheless, it continues to play its strange, twisted tune, the keys and pedals moving wildly on their own. "Sounds like a funeral march." "Hey, just kidding."
Bad joke, Kid.
"All right, let's do this," Kid says, taking a deep breath as she heads for the door.
I glance at Majel, nodding my head as we follow her out.
"It's a funeral march, all right. Lynx's, that is."